Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Cooking with the Candidate. My name is Melissa Smith, and I'm running for the Montana legislature, and I would represent District 20, which is in Great Falls, and it's from the airport all the way to the Air Force Base on the south side of the city. Today, I'm going to cook with an incredibly local ingredient, and that ingredient is garlic scapes. I found these yesterday at the farmer's market and they were grown in a garden right here in Great Falls. And whenever I see these, I immediately pick them up. They are the most delicious things to cook with. What a garlic scape is it is the bulb of the garlic plant. So, if you didn't pick these and let them grow, you would eventually, have garlic and then you'd let that dry and cure and you'd have traditional garlic. Some florists even use these in flower arrangements because they're so unusual and pretty. The other local ingredient I'm really showcasing today, because this is my favorite thing to do with garlic scapes, is to make scrambled eggs. And I wanted to show you these eggs that I got from a Hutterite colony a little bit north of town here. These are beautiful. All the yolks were double yolks. So that means I'm going to have really rich, delicious, amazing scrambled eggs. So I forgot to mention another local ingredient that we're using today. Our toast is going to be made by the delicious Blue Truck Bread, which is made in Power, Montana, which is in Cascade County, just north of Great Falls. And this is bread that's coming from what we call the Golden Triangle, which has some of the most fertile ground in the United States for growing wheat and barley and lentils and garbanzo beans, and wheat from this area just makes the most delicious products. So I hope you can see my pan here. I've melted some butter, and I cook my eggs over really, really low temperatures. The other thing that I do that's maybe different from other cooks is I do not put salt in my eggs to scramble them. I just start with some melted butter over really low heat. I pour in my beaten eggs. And then I just let them do their thing, which means just let them cook. One of the most important things to do when you are cooking is to have what they called mise en place, which is your prep. You've done everything that you want to do ahead of time so that when it's time to cook, you simply just put your ingredients in your skillet or whatever you're using. So I have here my garlic scapes, which I have chopped, and I have a little bit of mascarpone cheese, which I'm going to add simply because I had some and I thought, well, that will make these eggs even more delicious. And then I have some garnishes I'm going to put on top. And I have my toast ready to go in and pop. And I also have salt and pepper. And this is all I need to make this dish. So, I just give my eggs a little stir, see if they're actually doing anything. Some methods, like there's a wonderful method to make scrambled eggs, the French method, where you constantly stir your eggs over simmering water in a double boiler, and I'll tell you, that makes like an egg sauce. It's really, really delicious. But today we just want to scramble some eggs and let the eggs cook slowly and gently. This way you'll get creamy eggs instead of those really hard, tough eggs that you're like, wow, what went wrong? It's low and slow. Which, if we just did that with a lot of things in our life, right, we'd have better results. So as these beautiful curds are forming, just pushing them away so the uncooked egg can come to the warmer parts of the pan. This is also the way that if you were making an omelet, you wouldn't be quite so aggressive, but you would push back and let the uncooked fall in. push back, let the uncooked fall in, and that's how you can make those really delicious, fluffy omelets without beating your eggs white separate, because that's the other way to get a tremendously fluffy, beautiful omelet. Okay, so as I'm starting to get some big curds here, I'm going to add my scapes. And at the same time that I add my scapes, I'm going to add this mascarpone. If you don't have any mascarpone cheese, you just leave it out. It's not going to make a bit of difference. It's just going to make these eggs sort of really luxurious. So if you were making this for brunch for a bunch of people, you might want to have a little mascarpone cheese on hand so that you could add it to your eggs. And mascarpone cheese is just simply a Italian cream cheese. Mascarpone. Yeah, so see how everything's kind of getting really creamy and pretty? Yeah, that's good. And I'm not stirring very aggressively, but I'm just kind of keeping my eye on it because I want these to be super, super creamy. With COVID, you know, we've not been able to open our Great Falls Original Farmers Market, which was a fantastic market. It took over 2 parks downtown, a street, and then for a while we were even down another street, Central Avenue, with just really delicious produce and a whole bunch of crafts and clothing, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful market. And of course, food vendors where you could eat breakfast downtown or you know, get some beautiful things to take home and make your breakfast. I'll tell you, some of the baked goods were just amazing. These cinnamon rolls that came from some people over at Highwood, a family that would make these just unbelievably delicious baked goods. So as you can see, my eggs are almost done. Hope you can see that. And depending on how, I like my eggs done, but I also know they're going to cook a little bit when I take them off the heat. But I'm going to give them just a little bit more minutes, a few more minutes here. Actually, not really even a minute, but just to make sure that they're smooth and creamy, but not raw. I am not a raw egg fan. Oh, I wish you could smell, because once again, when you can smell, these are amazing. We'll push down our toast now so that we'll have nice hot toast right when our eggs are done. Oh, these are just turning out just perfect. All right, so I'm going to take them off the heat, just push them aside, and they'll cook just a little bit more here. And this is the time that I do add some salt. So I'm going to add a little salt here. And I love a tremendous amount of pepper. To me, that is what makes scrambled eggs really amazingly delicious. I'm going to add tons of fresh ground pepper. And then, in just a minute, we'll be ready to plate. So here's the finished product. This is scrambled eggs with garlic, scapes, mascarpone cheese, blue truck bread from Power, Montana. And I'm going to just add some garnishes because I really love to garnish. You don't have to. I had some fresh herbs from my garden and I just went out and thought, oh, it looks good and pretty. So this just happens to be a mixture of chives, parsley, and basil. And I just like when you have fresh herbs on top of things. I just think it gives it that woo flavor, that pop. And I also had some leftover prosciutto. So I crisped that up. I'm just going to add a few crispy pieces here, just, you know, for the carnivore lovers in your household. And there we go. There is our finished breakfast, made locally sustainably, and deliciously. Thanks for watching.